What if the creatures of legend were more real than we thought? Dragons, those fire-breathing, sky-soaring beasts, aren't just fantasy mascots. They're rooted deep in human history, and their story stretches across continents and centuries. In fact, nearly every ancient culture had its own version of a dragon. From the sky serpents of China to the gold-hoarding monsters of medieval Europe, the dragon is a global myth that refuses to die. And what's wild? These myths weren't even connected. Different people, different eras, same creature. That's not just coincidence, it's a mystery. But not all dragons breathe fire and kidnap princesses. In the West, dragons were feared symbols of chaos, destruction, and greed. In the East, they were honored wise, powerful beings tied to water, storms, and divine wisdom. It's like the world looked at the same creature and saw two different souls. And that duality, it makes dragons more than just monsters. They're mirrors of culture. Now, here's where it gets spooky. History is full of actual dragon sightings. Explorers, kings, and even scholars claim to see dragons in the sky, in caves, even at sea. Marco Polo wrote about dragons in Asia as if they were just wild animals. Were they exaggerating? Or were they seeing something we've forgotten? Some believe dragon myths came from dinosaur fossils, giant bones unearthed by people with no concept of extinction. To them, bones meant monsters, and monsters meant danger. Story meets science in the dust. Then there's the blood. Medieval lore said dragon blood could make you invincible, help you speak to birds, or grant supernatural insight. People believed dragons weren't just beasts, they were magical gateways. In Christian legend, St. George slayed a dragon to save a princess, a story that traveled through Europe like wildfire. It became a symbol of good conquering evil, but it also fed the dragon myth for generations. And let's not forget real dragons, Komodo dragons. 10 feet long, toxic saliva, stealth hunters. They're proof that nature doesn't need wings or fire to create terrifying reptiles. Ancient sailors also feared sea dragons, massive serpents said to lurk beneath the waves. With no knowledge of marine biology, dragons ruled the ocean in the minds of men. Even dreams weren't safe from cultures believed dreaming of a dragon meant you were being contacted by a higher power, either to protect or to warn you. Fast forward to today, and dragons are still everywhere. Game of Thrones, tattoos, festivals, video games, sports mascots. They've outlived kings and empires. Why? Because dragons are more than fantasy. They represent power, mystery, fear, and awe. They live in our stories because they live in our imagination, and they're not leaving anytime soon. If that fired up your curiosity, make sure you subscribe. This is Verified Genius, where legends are questioned, myths are explored, and every fact bites harder than fiction.